Hold fast to your candle, for I'm about to tell a story that will infest your mind, strangle it, and will not let it go for years to come.
Wow, you've got a ghost story.
Jasha,
Okay.
have you heard of the one known as the Great and Mighty Nose?
No, I don't.
Those of you who sleep with socks on, you best beware.
Mm-hmm.
No one puts on socks for bed. They keep the same socks on that they wore to work, they wore around the house, and they couldn't be bothered taking them off. And the Great Nose knows. He can sniff you out in the middle of the night, and when he finds your toes hidden under those little socks, he'll rip them off and take them for himself.
Wow.
You best beware the morning you wake up toeless and afraid.
The nose yokai. Okay, you make sure to put your candle out. We don't want to be haunted by him. Very, very nice. Okay, all right. Have you, Micah, heard the tale of... I'm speaking very slowly because I haven't figured out what ghost story I want to tell yet. But
because there are so many. There are so many
yokai stories. Have you heard the tale of the backyard bandit, Micah? I
haven't, no. Can you give me one defining feature?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about him. You know, after you've spent all weekend toiling, troubling over your leaves and greenery, over your vegetables, your shrubbery, your carrots in your backyard, Micah?
All the carrots I have.
This furry, snub-nosed, 8-legged, little weasel-like dude.
These are some traits I can get behind.
Gonna start crawling out of the ground, snatching up all that greenery, all those carrots, all your vegetables. There won't be any sign left other than 6 footprints in its wake.
I thought it was 8-legged.
The eight footprints in his wake. The backyard bandit yokai. Yeah.
Now, the backyard bandit, you may scoff at the name. In Japanese, that's the Uraniwa no Goto.
Oh.
It sounds intimidating.
Yeah. Dude.
What was my one called?
The Great Nose. The Mighty Nose. The Nose Who Knows. The all-knowing nose.
Subarashi Hana.
Oh my goodness.
These are some yokai I can get behind.
I'm very glad that we told these stories and blew out those candles so that these monsters will never be seen again.
Let's make sure we perform the cleansing ceremony.
Yes. Let's make sure we perform that before we leave today. Hello, I'm Jasha. I'm here with my brother Micah.
Nice Obi-Wan impression.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Oh, that was actually good.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Oh,
I'm Jasha. I'm here with my brother Micah. And this is Podzilla, guys. At the moment on the show, we are watching through the Yokai Monsters movies. Just in time for October, spooky season. We're starting our new journey after Godzilla, Gamera, Daimajin. We're going all in on yokai now, Micah.
You know what? I'm going to shout this out at the start of the episode as well.
Okay.
Flip, we've got a Patreon, so if you feel like this episode is short, listen to the extended cut on Patreon. And feel free to give us a review as well.
Wow, and reviews.
Yeah.
Patreon reviews. What else can we say right now? Join the Discord. Send us an email.
Man, because I know you're going to have a lot to talk about after this episode. First off, I want to get you guys all just to, if you've got a candle nearby, grab it, light it.
Yes.
And just as like a set piece, as environmental decoration to
Yeah.
set the mood, keep that near you while listening to this.
Yeah. Well, not just to set the mood, but to scare off any evil spirits that may be around you. So make sure you have your candle ready while you're listening. But yeah, as I'm sure you guys would know if you've been following along with the show, the Yokai Monsters trilogy was produced by Dai. All 3 movies were filmed, produced back-to-back, similar to the Daimajin movies. And the Yokai Monsters are often lumped in with both Daimajin and Gamera, kind of like how we've lumped them together on Podzilla. But they had the same creative team, or many of the same cast and crew between the 3 franchises. There's a whole lot of references between the 3 as well, a whole lot of the same special effects techniques and stuff used. They were making these movies at the same time. So there's a lot of crossover. And even if there isn't, there's very similar vibes, right?
Oh, very. It feels very much like Daimajin, where there are some elements that are continuous through the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. I haven't seen the second one yet. What I have heard about these movies is that the second one is very famous.
The second one, called Spook Warfare, is supposed to be the most popular of the 3. It actually has a kaiju in it. Whereas this one we're covering today, Yokai Monsters 100 Monsters. Not a kaiju to be seen, but potentially 100 monsters.
I'd even say not 100 monsters to be seen.
There's many monsters. There are many little yokai in this movie.
Before we get into things, Jasha, I'm going to bring us back real quick.
Okay.
We haven't had some megaNEWSlon in a while.
I've been waiting.
Man, it's still pretty dry out here in, early October.
Yeah.
But there's a few pieces of info. We have a proper release date for Kong Survivor Instinct.
Oh, please. I've been waiting for Kong Survivor Instinct news. Everyone has been.
Yeah,
all our listeners.
We've been ravenous about it.
Everyone's really, really excited for this game.
We all know this. This is the newly announced Kong-focused game where you play as a human with all these kaiju around you.
What else would you want to play as in a kaiju game, Micah?
Not kaiju, that's for sure.
Humans.
That's for sure.
Yes. Yep.
This is going to be set canon to the events of the MonsterVerse, and it's coming out October 22nd. Jasha, I feel like it might be time for a mainline Podzilla gaming episode.
Because we have so many listeners that are waiting for us to release a whole 60-minute plus episode on Kong Survivor Instinct.
Because no one else will. No, I'm genuinely certain that there'll be at least something in this game that ties into a future MonsterVerse, either movie or show. There'll be connections somewhere.
Well, it was also announced recently that Tiamat is officially in the game. So who knows how many monsters or titans from the MonsterVerse will be in there? We could even be seeing mainline ones. What if Mothra shows up?
If I had to bet, I would guess that none of the already established Godzilla kaiju are in there. I wouldn't expect Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah to show
so they don't
up.
have to pay any Toho rights.
I think they will fill this chock-a-block with all of the MonsterVerse original kaiju, though. What do we have? Behemoth.
Yep.
Tiamat.
Okay, keep going.
I'd even say the Mutos would be in there.
Really?
I think you can't have a MonsterVerse movie or piece of media without a Muto showing up.
Scylla?
Hey, Scylla. What's that one from the comics?
Something with an A, the weird wiry nerve ending dude.
If that monster shows up, I'll buy 5 copies of this game and hand them out to Discord.
You're gifting.
I will buy 5 copies.
Wow.
And gift them out to Discord members. So watch out for that competition.
Join the Discord. Get ready to have Kong Survivor Instinct. I personally am looking forward to Frostvark if he shows up.
Oh, yes. Deep cut from the...
Yeah.
I was going to say from the Mothra show, from the Monarch show.
From the Monarch show.
The only other piece of news is that Godzilla Fest is coming up once again.
It's coming. Yeah. Godzilla Fest 2024. It'll be on November 3rd, Godzilla Day. And usually they have a big, 6-hour plus live stream for a whole lot of things. New movie announcements in the past.
They will inevitably show some sort of... Well, it seems like yearly they've been doing those small Suitmation Godzilla shorts.
Yeah, we usually get a Suitmation short, and then we also get an animated short. So a whole lot of new Godzilla content. We're actually going to try and do an episode covering Godzilla Day this year. So stay tuned for that around November 3rd, maybe just after. Yeah, we might not be doing a Kong Survivor Instinct episode, but you better believe we're going to do a Godzilla Day episode.
Imagine back-to-back. Kong Survivor Instinct, Godzilla Fest. Viewer retention drops significantly.
Yeah, because they're both equally as big, equally as, exciting, equal amounts of people looking forward to both.
Yeah, it will drop significantly afterwards because those two will just be so huge.
Because we probably wouldn't be covering Kong Survivor Instinct ever again after the episode. So we're going to lose a lot of listeners due to that fact. Yeah. Any more news?
Honestly, that's pretty much it in terms of Godzilla news, at least.
There's nothing happening.
No, we're eagerly awaiting anything. I'm on the prowl.
What did you send me the other day? This might be some non-confirmed Godzilla news. But you sent me a screenshot that someone tweeted about like an uncut version of Godzilla -1.
Oh, this was not a... No, this was a...
It was a scam.
This was a... I'm going to try find this now. It was a Instagram post about -1 by the Toho account.
Oh.
But it was translated through Instagram software.
And Instagram did the translation wrong.
I want to say they did it wrong. It seems like it's finally getting a physical release.
Oh.
Has that happened yet?
No, yeah, it has. There's definitely a physical release of Godzilla -1 out. I think you sent it to me on Instagram, didn't you? Or on just message?
I sent it to you on Instagram. Let me pull this up. I'll get the receipts.
There you go.
Yeah, Godzilla 231103. This is the account they used for the marketing of it.
Wait, Godzilla 23.
Godzilla 23. That's
an official Godzilla account?
Yeah.
There's no way Godzilla 231123 is an official Godzilla account.
231103. This is for the release date 2023.
Oh.
1103. November
that makes
3rd.
sense.
The translated text says, breaking news, the first ground wave broadcast decision. Please gather in front of the TV on the following dates. November 1st, 9 p.m. on Nippon Television. Main story uncut broadcast. So it's probably like Godzilla -1 is going to be on TV.
That makes a lot of sense. It's the first time that Godzilla is broadcast live TV. Maybe uncut as in no ads.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Right?
When I first saw that, I'm like, extended
Gather
edition?
around your TV, breaking news.
Peter Jackson?
Yeah. Okay, that does make a ton of sense. That's still cool that Godzilla -1's getting more and more out there. But yeah, it's definitely got a physical release now. I mean, it's on Netflix too. Like, if you haven't seen Godzilla -1, there are many ways to watch it.
You can watch it without color.
Yeah.
On Netflix as well.
Yeah.
Man, there's just so many versions.
You can watch it uncut on Nippon TV.
Broadcasting live.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to cut the news there.
You really?
I'm going to bring us back to Yokai Monsters.
Man, Yokai Monsters, 100 Monsters. I will just say as well, similar to the Daimajin movies, all three of these Yokai Monster movies, they're supposed to be completely standalone. Different yokai, apparently, different situations. And, I mean, I didn't know much about yokai at all before watching this movie.
You know what I knew? I knew that there is a Nintendo franchise called Yokai Watch, where a character is like Ben 10, and
he has a yokai watch?
And has a yokai watch, believe it or not. Kind of like Pokemon, where there are a bunch of these monsters based in Japanese lore that you can summon. So I guess yokai, I feel like rather than being just a term for monster, there's a connotation to it that relates back to Japanese culture and Japanese like mythos.
Well, I mean, the literal translation is just strange things.
That's great.
So yokai is just, from what I understand, a way for them to talk about myths and legends and ghost stories and anything that's strange. It'll be like our way of almost saying like paranormal.
Paranormal. Yeah, that's actually a real
paranormal
connection.
Yeah, paranormal phenomenon kind of thing. But this movie came out in a real specific time where there was a manga artist called Shigeru Mizuki, who was popular in Japan for his yokai drawings. All the kids were showing up for Mizuki and his yokai manga. And then all the kids were also showing up for another thing that was booming at the time, kaiju movies, tokusatsu stuff. So Daiei had the smart idea of, hey, why don't we make like a tokusatsu kaiju movie or kaiju tokusatsu franchise around these yokai creatures that are so popular. And thus Yokai Monsters was born. So yeah, I mean, a lot of yokai in this movie, maybe 100, might be close, might be well under, but we'll get into it. But first, Micah, did you want to bring us in?
Yeah, I've got a little synopsis here.
Go for it.
The keeper of a local shrine and its surrounding land has become indebted to the corrupt magistrate Tajimaya. And with no finances left to pay with, they have to give up the shrine and its building to be demolished for the business of the wealthy merchant lord Hotta, looking to turn the shrine into a brothel. To celebrate the transaction, the landowner holds a traditional Hyakumonogatari Kaidankai ceremony, the gathering of 100 supernatural tales, during which various stories of yokai are told, such as the tales of Kasa Obake, an umbrella Tsukumogami, and a long-necked Rukurokubi. However, the most important part of the ceremony is left unfinished, the purification ceremony, meant to protect the listeners and ward off the spirits conjured by the tales. With the landowner and his supporters unprotected and ripe for the picking, the yokai make their way through to the material plane and set out to terrorize and hunt them down. And hunt them down. And hunt them down. And hunt them down.
Now do it like you're in pain.
Oh, and hunt them down.
Now, like really happy, really happy.
And hunt them down.
Nice. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for recording with us today, Micah.
Can you give me a little bit more? That's the Yokai Monsters 100 Monsters. Is that what it's called? Yokai Monsters 100 Monsters?
Yokai Monsters 100 Monsters. I think that's the translation. All of these are translated literally from Japan, so some of the translations are a bit off. Some of the monsters' names and yokai names are a bit off. We'll get into it. But yeah, I think I wrongfully assumed that this franchise was more popular than it was.
That's great to hear you say it in like the first episode of a planned series.
Yeah, we might have made a mistake, guys. And no, I'm really excited that we're taking this yokai journey. But I was first turned on to Yokai Monsters through Arrow, the like physical media distributor. They released a real cool Gamera set, which we've talked about, which we watched through. They released the real cool Daimajin set, and then they also in tandem released their Yokai Monsters set. So it kind of made sense to me to do the whole Daiei journey, and then especially when we found out we were getting some more Daimajin at the end of the Yokai series too.
It's a big web. It's all connected together.
It's all connected, but yeah, not many people have seen this. And just like you were saying before, the second movie of the trilogy is by far the most popular. So I don't think many people have gone out of their way to watch 100 Monsters. So it was quite the cool experience going into this, knowing nothing, not even finding a good like plot synopsis on Wikizilla or on Wikipedia.
Yeah, it's very hard to track down really any information about this flick.
I had to find like some of the yokai names by going through, hacking into Japanese Wikipedia and like translating it, and all the translations were terrible.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm also surprised at the fact that legitimately all of the yokai are like listed and mentioned by name.
Yeah.
Like there are very direct one-to-one comparisons of really all the monsters here.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess getting into it first off, just off the back of your amazing plot synopsis, this was another movie that I was very confused with. It was the same thing that happened to me during maybe the second Daimajin movie, but just all of the people, the human characters, their roles within their village, everyone's connections to one another. I was utterly confused.
Because there's a few people I mentioned in that little synopsis there. There's the corrupt magistrate Tajimaya, who acts as almost the landlord who is very happy looking to sell the shrine for money.
He doesn't just own the shrine though, right? He owns like the tenement buildings.
It's like, yeah, he owns so much of the village.
A lot of the housing that people in the village are actually living in, and he's just wanting to sell it.
There's the merchant lord Hotta, who's working kind of, I wouldn't even say pulling strings in the background. He's kind of framed as the big bad, but more so in terms of he's just the one wanting to buy these locations for himself.
He's just a rich dude. Of course he would buy these locations from this magistrate who doesn't want them. Of course he'll turn them into brothels. Of course he'd help himself to one of the loved women in the community, because of course he would, you know?
And there's also like a few members of the community who I didn't mention in there, but who do play quite a big part in this movie as well.
Yeah. So I guess I was just a little bit confused on like the hierarchy, but yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense that there is the shrine magistrate. He owns a lot of the town. He is kind of corrupt. He's wanting to sell most of the town to a dude who wants to turn the town into a town full of brothels. Does that make sense?
You guys didn't see the 20 minutes me and Jasha spent rewatching the movie on the laptop trying to just unravel this web.
Well, again, I feel like all the actors and their character names are listed wrongly in like Letterboxd and on IMDb.
Yeah, they're definitely not right.
In Japanese Wikipedia, okay? Because I'm a Japanese Wikipedia master now. I know the ins and outs of Japanese Wikipedia. But even there, they've mixed up some of the characters' names and they're completely off what they actually call each other in the movie. So
we've set the record straight just for you guys.
Yeah.
Because we know that you wouldn't be able to get any sleep at night.
Yes.
Without knowing the factual facts.
We've laid it out. And then I guess the only other moving part to mention is that there is a masterless samurai. And he's kind of our protagonist in this movie. His name is Yasutaro. And he is a masterless samurai who is on a secret mission from the proper high magistrate. And the high magistrate has sent Yasutaro, the samurai, to investigate this corrupt shrine magistrate and put a stop to his dealings.
Magistrates all the way down.
Yeah, never heard the name magistrate as much as I have watching this movie and reading Japanese Wikipedia.
I don't know if I'd call him a main character. There's also a little Shinkichi.
Shinkichi.
Yeah.
He's this guy with a mind of a child.
Yeah, very much comedic relief.
Yeah.
He is the landlord's son.
Yes, and the landlord is called?
Hota.
No.
Tajimaya.
Nice.
Yes.
We got there.
Yeah.
I think I've been calling him Tajimaya? Yama? Tajiyama? Tajimaya.
If you hear Taji, that's who we're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. We've cleared the path.
We've cleared it. We're all on the same page. Yeah, it was quite an interesting start to the movie because all this information, you kind of get a barrage of it up front. And you just see evil men running into this town, just ripping down the shrine, beating people up. And all they're wanting to do is like tell their nice little ghost stories.
I'll also swoop in and say, like, this movie, more so than a lot of the ones we've watched recently, it's much more of a proper horror movie.
Yeah.
There is a good bit of classic, like, Japanese gore, fake blood.
Yeah.
And some of the scenes here actually get pretty brutal and pretty terrifying. I think I went into this with the pre-assumption that it was more so of like, kind of like you stated at the start, yokai monsters which all the kids are going to flock towards.
Yeah.
Which is definitely not the case for this movie, at least.
Yeah, it was definitely a really, really good start to October. Very spooky, pretty gory, some really fun monsters and monster effects. I do think where I had the most hang-ups was just with this overarching story, was just all this boring magistrate stuff.
It felt like it was just a way for people to frame the yokai plot around.
Because what? The magistrate, yeah, they're wanting to... There's a whole lot of conversations about the guy who owns the temple wanting to buy it back so it doesn't get sold off, and the magistrate like doing some shady dealings so that he can't buy it back. There's a whole lot of back and forth there, and then you've got the magistrate and the merchant sitting in on the 100 Ghost Stories ceremony, and then they're the ones who don't shut it down properly and do the cleansing ritual. And then it starts getting good. There are some like little snippets of really cool yokai monster stuff in here. It's just hidden throughout all the business dealings.
Periodically as well. Like the movie does open with our first yokai.
Yes, Mike.
And I know that after reading your Japanese Wikipedia, you've got the full comprehensive list.
I've got the comprehensive list, every yokai that is in the movie. Let me find this one.
Get ready for the yokai retrospective.
Yeah.
Where we rank all of these.
There's enough to rank. I don't even know if I've got this made one. Okay. Oh.
This is the worm one.
Yeah, this is the one that was incorrectly called a worm on Japanese Wikipedia, but he is in reality a big, furry, one-eyed creature in the forest. He is called Tsuchi Kurobi. And yeah, it starts off with a dude in the forest just getting attacked and hugged to death by Tsuchi Kurobi.
It's so funny that you just stated it's just a dude in the forest. It literally is just a random dude in the forest.
Just a dude in the forest.
And I think this is Daiei being like, these guys don't need any introduction to any of these characters. They came for the yokai.
Here's a monster. Here's a monster. Here's all the monsters.
But this monster, this yokai in particular, is real interesting. It feels like he's got the power of the wind on his side. Yeah. It seems as though when this dude is trying to run away, he's sucking him towards him.
Mm-hmm. He could not escape. Yeah. And it's really, really cool when they go to these yokai stories. Because again, the way the movie's framed around this 100 ghost stories ceremony, I was ready to hear the backstories of 100 monsters, learn everything about them, know their ins and outs, learn these yokai so that we could actually talk about the yokai, so that we could know all 100 monsters. We only really get 2 or 3 stories.
Yeah, it's not much.
By the time all the yokai show up at the end, you really don't know any of them.
I almost wish that majority of the movie was just this 100 yokai ceremony.
It'd be a cool way to do like an anthology movie, right?
Yeah.
It keeps it just short films all put together of people's encounters with yokai.
Because the way it is, we see this ceremony very, very briefly. And for what it's supposed to be like in the world, this ceremony that takes hours to sit through and listen to.
How about that? Just sitting around for hours listening to people tell stories.
It'd take like the better part of a day, if not multiple days.
Yeah.
And it just passes by so quickly. We see really one of these stories while they're telling and going through the ceremony. We see the long-necked lady.
Yeah.
This is Rukuro Kubi.
Yep.
And they talk about how there are these 2 fishermen fishing in the Forbidden Lake who hear voices in the background bidding them tidings to run away and leave the fish and stop fishing there. They go back home, eat the fish that they caught, and one of their wives who was preparing the meal, in what is really a fantastic display of real practical effects, just extends her neck incredibly long. And there's a few good scenes where this lady is just like twisting her neck around these guys, and it very much has the feel of like, are these characters hallucinating or are they seeing what's real? And I feel like with the yokai theming as well, that is very present throughout the entire movie, that whenever the yokai are present, like, is it just the imagination of these characters seeing them, or are they able to see through to some other realm that we can't?
Yeah, and it establishes that quite, like you were saying, just at the start with that ghost story, because we find out that those men actually never brought their fish back to a girl to prepare for them. They just were struck by lightning and died.
Which itself raises a lot of questions for me. Why the heck? What was the relevance of them even going home?
Yeah. So in reality, they just were struck by lightning and then dreamed that like a yokai woman attacked them with a long neck.
But then what's the point of even the yokai if like the story frames it as... Sorry, I really do love Rukuro Kubi here.
Yeah.
It's just very weird how the story itself is like, and this yokai never even existed. I'm telling you this real story of a made-up fictional character.
I don't even know how I know about this made-up fictional character that was in the minds of 2 dead guys who were struck by lightning. Yeah, I think that story in particular was interesting when I was doing some reading about it, but that's a very well-known story.
I thought it was,
It's called I think it's the O Tikibori story, the O Tikibori. And it's a popular tale that they used to tell in the Edo period, when there was many waterways around Japan, people were catching heaps and heaps of fish everywhere. There's a lot of stories of townsfolk casting their nets, catching up heaps of fish, and then when they were taking those fish home, they would hear, "Leave them behind, leave them behind."
That was me.
And then they would run away in fear, Micah, of your voice.
Yeah.
Everyone who would hear this voice, they would either run away, they would leave their fish, but if they brought their fish home, they would then check their baskets and not a single fish they had caught would be there any longer.
So is that story connected with the Rukuro Kubi yokai in any way?
The long-necked woman? No. No, so it was kind of a little mashup of the two.
Mashup of the two.
Which I liked. Like, it felt like
Yeah.
we were watching this and we were actually learning something. We were actually, like, hearing stories from Japan's history and learning a little bit about yokai.
Which is real cool. I remember when we watched through the Toho adaptations of the Three Treasures stories, the one that they did, those were really cool. When you have these movies that are very deeply rooted in traditional stories and legends, it does make for an interesting watching experience, especially when you do have the chance to, like Daiei does here, mash them up and create new twists on these pre-established stories.
Yeah. And I mean, it's two of my favorite things, right? Like monster movies, tokusatsu movies, and then real life legends and myths and cryptids. I've always been obsessed with like paranormal stories, haunted things. So it just really like ticks every box for me when I'm learning about those while I'm watching a movie. Yeah, but she was great. Like you were saying, the special effects for her were just really, really good for 1968 when they had her super long neck wrapping these guys up that they must have used some sort of puppetry or props for. But then you had her real face, the actress's real face sticking out from behind them, it just looked really real, like she had a long neck. They did it practically really, really well.
If I had to guess, I'd say they did something like they had the lady with her real face, maybe like painted or wearing a very, very black outfit with a, I don't know, some sort of prosthetic long neck, like down the front of her torso, just to make it seem much longer. But like it really does work. Like with Rakubi especially, it's one of the better effects that I've seen, and especially for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, should we talk about the other big yokai that we see a lot of?
Yeah,
the Umbrella Boy, Kasa Obake. And I really love Kasa Obake's inclusion in this. One of the characters we were talking about earlier, the guy with the mind of a child, Shinkichi. He spends most of the movie just joking around and giggling and making trouble. And throughout the film, he is drawing images of like this umbrella with an eye and a big old tongue
on the walls.
Yeah, making a mess. And then we eventually see this figure come to life and become a real life yokai of just an umbrella with a single leg, single jandal on the end.
Barefoot, no socks to be seen.
No socks. And then a big old tongue that he proceeds to lick Shinkichi's own mouth with quite a lot. This dude was just making out with an umbrella for half the movie.
I find this is an interesting inclusion. I really love the fact that you just have this random umbrella yokai here.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that with this guy especially we had a bit more story like we did for the long-necked lady, because we don't really know anything about him.
In the world of Yokai Monsters 100 Monsters, it almost seemed like he wasn't an established ghost story. And he was just a figment of this character's imagination, because no one was believing he was real. Everyone was like, no, that umbrella thing's not real. They didn't even know what it was. And then it became real because of this dude's drawings.
Well, especially because Shinkichi wasn't present for the 100 yokai ceremony.
No.
He's just portrayed as being off in his room doing these drawings of this umbrella dude first.
He just willed him into reality.
He knows this yokai somehow. But there's this fantastic scene where in like traditional, I don't know if you call it traditional Japanese animation.
Like just traditional hand animation.
You have one of these paintings, drawings on the walls just start being animated.
It's crazy. Honestly, like, it reminded me so much of Roger Rabbit or that kind of film, but in 68, in this random Japanese tokusatsu movie, just really, really impressive animation for the time. And then even from that, when the Umbrella Boy comes to life, he's puppeted around, like his arms are always like dangling. Obviously, they use like piano wires or something to bring him to life, but just the amount of really great practical effects, like the amount of innovation used for every single one of the monsters in this film, I thought it was like my favorite part of it.
Actually, you know, one of my other favorite yokai is the one that, does he also show up in the story with the fisherman?
What?
I'm picturing another scene where there are two people.
Yes.
Standing around.
Yep.
And from up above them, living fireball.
Oh, the living fireball?
as we all know him by.
Micah. Ubagabi.
Oh, Ubagabi.
A mysterious ball of fire in Yokai Legends.
Now, was this separate from the story, from the celebration?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. To be honest, I'm not too sure what happens in this film. They're having a celebration. They're locking their ghosts away. But then the magistrate or the merchant who doesn't even tell a ghost story doesn't lock his ghosts away.
Was it that one of them didn't blow out their candle? Or did they just not perform a
Did
closing?
none of them. Surely not everyone forgot to just close the ceremony. Maybe they did. Maybe.
Yeah.
But then we didn't see the long-necked woman come back at the end. But is that because we did see that dude who told that story put his candle out?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions left unanswered.
There is a lot. But yeah, the movie kind of dissolves into all these yokai monsters coming in and killing the corrupt evil dudes in the village and then being on their merry way.
You say killing, it does become more of like they're mentally tormenting them.
Yes.
Especially with those hallucinations. You enter these very much like dreamscape scenarios and visions these characters are having. I think it's Hotta who experiences one where I think my favorite yokai of the bunch, there's this just this unimaginably large face of a lady just staring at people from the sky. It reminds me a lot of the moon from Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask in a lot of ways. Like that thing scares me.
Okubi was her name.
Okubi?
She's like a slit-mouthed, laughing woman. Red hair.
This terrifies me. I'm thinking about it now. I'm quivering in my boots.
You open up your door to go outside. She's blocking the whole door.
She's like encapsulating the entire sky and staring at you.
I guess this is a kaiju movie.
In some way, yeah.
Yeah.
I really love her. Like it's comped into the scene very well. It seems like it's just this lady wearing prosthetics and makeup.
Micah.
But she terrifies me.
Same blue screen used in Daimogen. Remember the real expensive
the big one.
blue screen setup?
Hey, nice to see some follow through. But that's crazy. You have this scene where Hotta is seeing her in the sky. It is her specifically that he tries to like bring out his sword and slash her and kill her. And it ends up panning to like him slashing his friend, his acquaintance, and killing him in the process.
Falling on his own sword in the end. Yeah, I actually really did like that. I shouldn't have said that the yokai are showing up and killing everyone, because they're not. The yokai aren't ever physically interacting with people.
Well, this is a classic haunt.
Yeah.
They're haunting these characters.
It's like a haunted town story, you know? Everyone's getting haunted. They're seeing these monsters, but then they're not real.
Or are they?
Well, they're not really there in the flesh. And I liked it because midway through the movie, we see the town gates open and close and nothing's coming through. Nothing's really there. And then we see at the end of the movie, after all this chaos has ensued, we actually see all the yokai monsters leaving. So they obviously came in the gate. They're not really there, but they were causing their mischief and causing everything to happen. And I really like that. They were just tormenting these evil guys. They weren't actually physically doing anything at all, but causing these evil dudes to stumble and kill themselves and fall down in the end on their own corruption without even lifting a little finger.
Yeah.
They were just dancing and jumping and laughing and hooting and hollering.
Having a jolly good time. And that is definitely the crux of the movie. Like we said, there's stuff with the masterless samurai going on in the background, but I don't know, it felt like to me he wasn't very important to the overall story.
Yasutaro, the masterless samurai? Yeah. I liked him.
I thought he was real cool because we have seen this actor before as well in some...
I think he's in Daimogen. I think he's also in Godzilla
films.
versus Destroyer.
Oh, fun.
I did really like him. I mean, he's got a good haircut. Everyone else in this town rocking the classic bald-topped look.
It's not even... Because we've seen bald top looks before, mind you.
Yeah.
But this is bald on the top, long hair on the sides, and then like hair at the back curled over the bald portion at the front and fanned out.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
They're bringing some style into it.
No one in this generation would be caught dead with this haircut.
Yeah, but then you have the masterless samurai, Yasutaro, showing up with just the coolest haircut, just the smirk. He's sitting in on the ghost story ceremony. No one even knows who he is. He's just helped himself in. He's just listening, watching the evil dudes.
This is the smartest way to very quickly make a likable character for the audience.
Yeah.
Make everybody else ugly.
Yeah.
Make him really good looking.
Make him really good looking, really
good hair.
charismatic, smiling all the time. There's a scene when, because Mike, I want to get your thoughts on this line. When Hoto really wants this girl to be his in the village, right? And this line is said, Micah, there is no higher happiness for a woman than to accept a man's affections, so go with him. Do you agree with that?
Man.
Woman's
I agree
only
with that?
existence is to follow through a man's affections.
Yeah. No greater pleasure than to
Yeah.
submit oneself to a man.
No, not at all.
Get out of here, Hotta.
Because Yasutaro doesn't agree with that either. And there's a scene when Hotta's like trying to come on to this girl locked away in a room. And it's just this great scene when the sliding door slowly opens up.
This is fantastic.
And you see Yasutaro just like have a look at what's going on.
Hello there.
Having a little smirk, and then he puts a stop to it. I just love this character. Like you were saying, he is kind of in the background, especially with all the yokai stuff going on. But I think he has a real cool like presence to the film. Just the silent, deadly dude.
I do like his role in the film, but like, I don't know, to the overall importance of the story, when ultimately you have the quote unquote bad guys, the antagonists of the film, the landlord and the wealthy merchant, they both kind of get taken out at the end by the yokai.
No, I guess.
No, I guess not
Tajimaya,
the
corrupt magistrate, he kills himself in the end because of Yasutaro. Yasutaro, the masterless samurai, comes up to him and he's like, hey, I was actually sent here on a mission from the high magistrate. People are coming tomorrow to investigate you and your shady dealings. And then, Tajimaya just runs into the corner and disembowels himself.
Just like that.
Just like that. Yeah. Micah, should we talk more about the yokai monsters quickly?
Yeah, let's do it.
How many do you remember from the 100 monsters? The 100 monsters.
I'm going to hazard a guess.
Yeah.
I want to say in this movie, there were 35 yokai.
You're not too far off. There are 28 named ones, according to Japanese Wikipedia.
How many
which could be
unnamed?
wrong.
7?
I'm not too sure. Probably.
Let's say there are 7 unnamed ones.
28
I'm bang
named
on.
ones. But then there was also the line at the end of the movie, or midway through the movie, that men are the real monsters. They're possessed by greed. And there were a lot of men in this movie.
Yeah, maybe there were 65 men.
So maybe 100 monsters all up. But yeah, how many monsters do you remember? How many yokai from the top of your head?
I know. Okay, this is going to be a long list.
Okay.
Long neck lady.
Yep.
Fireball.
Yes.
Umbrella.
Yes.
Big lady in the sky.
Yep. We've talked about them all.
We have the kid with the mask who like the kid with the big pot mask who like unsummons all the yokai.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you about Abura Samasi, Micah, or as it is translated into English, the oil presser. Let me tell you about the oil presser, okay? He is a monster with a serious face. He wears a straw raincoat he made himself, and he is covered from head to toe. Old tales say that he would appear to you when you cross a mountain pass. He'll be carrying a bottle of oil. He'll startle you and give you the oil.
Is that it?
He is said to be the ghost of a criminal who once stole oil. He's an oil thief waiting on the mountain pass, wanting to like hide his. Take my oil, please. The authorities are after me, please. Hide my oil.
I like that. I don't even see it. Micah's interpretation of that is just this old spooky ghost who just gives you some oil. Guys, you're right on a track one night deep in the woods. You see this boy in a raincoat who gives you some virgin olive oil.
Please take my oil, please. Horrifying. Great. I'll be telling that ghost story. Everyone haunted by these real horrific monsters, and you're just like, yeah, I lit my candle.
Guys, this oil here?
Dude in a raincoat gave me some oil.
That's great.
Who else do you remember?
I remember Kappa.
Kappa.
The Kappa feels to me like the most well-known yokai.
Yeah, Kappa, who is traditionally this turtle yokai. He isn't prominently in this. You see him in a few scenes. You can see his shell. He doesn't really look like Kappa, beside the fact that he has a shell. But apparently he shows up in the sequel, and his design's very different. Cool. He's more like traditional Kappa.
There is also a lady with a big wide-brimmed hat.
Yes.
Who I kept thinking was a human Kappa.
She is called the Oshiro Baba, translated as the White Powder Granny.
Oh.
I don't really have a story about the White Powder Granny, but I can assume she'll meet you on a mountain pass. She'll give you some white powder because she was a white powder thief in real life.
It is not some unsanctioned drugs.
No. She's kind of just this
unnamed
granny.
white powder.
Yeah. I didn't know she was a yokai when she first shows up, and two guys are just watching this granny walk past.
Yeah.
But no, she's there.
I also remember there is a kid with like a very, very wide, spiky grin.
I don't know who that is.
That's cool. Who I feel like there's one other very prominent character who I'm forgetting.
My favorite one. Can I say my favorite one?
Yeah.
Nupipo.
Panupapipo.
Nupipo. He was my favorite guy, Nupipo. He's just like potato. Walking potato.
Just in the background for a couple scenes.
He is there in a couple scenes. He's on our episode art. Have a look at Nupipo.
I haven't seen the art.
We had to make him front and center. He's the standout star of the film. He isn't a potato in actuality. The legend goes that he is a walking lump of flesh and fat who has wrinkles for a face.
Oh. It's like the adipose from Doctor Who.
And Japanese Wikipedia specifically said he was not carrying coffins alongside the other yokai. Instead, he walked beside it. Classic Nupipo move.
I feel like that's the most you can say. It's like trying to describe as much as possible. There was like this doll sitting on, because they were using like these flower pot looking things for coffins.
Yeah, I didn't clock it the first time, but they are taking the bodies or the souls maybe in these coffins of the corrupt guys that they killed out of the village at the end.
I also remember there's this, this troll looking big furry guy.
Yeah, we talked about him.
No, a different one.
Another one?
With like a dog nose. There's like a wolf man.
Should I quickly go through this list?
Yeah.
There's the lantern ghost, who is a lantern that gets set alight, and you can kind of make out it has a mouth.
Is this the fireball?
No, it's separate to the fireball. There's a lantern and there's a fireball. There's the Usio, who is a three-eyed beast monster with a long mane and a tail and 4 legs. Do you remember seeing him?
Nope.
There was Hirosube, who is a guy jumping around with a smile on his face.
Yes.
You remember him?
He literally in any scenes with the yokai, I felt like it was just the actor trying to get as much screen time as possible.
Just trying to jump
steal the show.
Yeah. Do you remember the one-eyed boy?
Yes, I do.
There's a one-eyed boy who is lingering around the mansion and is guiding the procession at the end. We've talked about the oil presser. Tengu is a bird man. I think there are a couple of Tengu.
Yeah, I feel like I remember Tengu.
A couple of Tengu that show up. Dorotabo is a one-eyed, 3-fingered mud man. I can't remember him.
That's what my bullies used to call me in high school.
You one-eyed, 3-fingered mud man. There's Oxhead and Horseface. Those are my names in high school.
Hey, Oxhead. Come over here, Horseface.
There was Kijoru, a prostitute covering her whole face with her hair. I can't remember her. Tatsuchi Kurobi. That was the furry dude with one eye at the start. There was the faceless ghosts.
Oh, yeah, no faces.
No faces.
They actually show up a little bit.
No, Pirabo, I think they're called. You have a look at who you thought was your friend, they turn around and they have no face. That's scary. I think that was most of the ones I had written down, but there were heaps of them. I remember, a wolf guy with a skull staff. He was pretty good.
Are we going to try to do this for every yokai movie?
I don't know.
I feel like at some point there is going to be legitimately 100. Like, I know there's the movie The Great Yokai War. There's got to be at least 100 yokai in that one.
I'm scared. Should I go into some trivia as well? while I'm listing things off.
Yeah, go for it.
So this was released the same time as Gamera vs. Virus, and it was often showed in a double bill together. So you'd go and see Gamera vs. Virus, then you'd watch Yokai Monsters 100 Monsters. This film ends with a parade of 100 monsters. Probably one of the best parts of the movie. It's cool just to see all these monsters properly, most of them for the first time, walking out in slow-mo, actually being able to take in all these costumes. And it is in reference to a popular Japanese idiom or a Japanese story called The Night Parade of 100 Demons. And it is said to be an orderly procession of monsters and demons that would sometimes riot and parade around Japan, and they would erupt into the real world. They would cause a pandemonium.
That is pandemonium. Did you write that down?
It is said that the concept of the night parade is similar to, though not precisely equivalent to, pandemonium in English. There you go.
That's great.
But it said anyone who comes across this night parade of 100 demons simply would perish. If you see these guys, you're just going to perish, Micah, unless you have a specific exorcism scroll that has been handwritten by Onmoji spellcasters.
I love that. That's very D&D.
You better make sure you're holding on to your exorcism scroll. You've got it in your inventory or else you're gone.
I'm going to bring that into our D&D game.
It is also said that if the night parade comes by your house, if you hear them coming, you need to chant the magic spell.
Which is?
Ka tashi haya ikasidi kurini tami rusake tiihi asi-ihi warishiko nikiri.
Dude, you're bringing me back to my high school Japanese classes I did.
Dude, did you hear those that night parade? I stopped them.
I can't hear them anymore.
They were going to come in until
I heard some sake in there as well. Got me excited for a second.
Don't know if that's how you pronounce it at all. The director of this, Yasuda Kimiyoshi, he is actually more known for his storyboarding skills, and he drew the entire storyboard of this film himself. And Daiei's public relations magazine at the time reported that the director's staff room is covered with pictures of various monsters, and the atmosphere of the staff room is already full of the mystical atmosphere. It looks head to toe like a monster museum.
That's great. It'll be so cool to explore that little area of his storyboards.
Pretty cool. And the last bit I have here is that before filming began on the 100 Monsters set, they had a monk come through. A Japanese monk. They had him share some ghost stories to the studio, and then all the filmmakers gathered to perform a purification ritual, praying for safety during filming and also praying for a hit movie.
Man, it sounds like they didn't perform that one quite right. Well, actually, do you know if this movie did very well?
It did very well. It was very popular, again, with the kids that were big into yokai at the time.
And they were big into Gamera versus Virus.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone's showing up for Gamera, then actually being tricked into watching this and actually having an all right time with it. And we'll go into it next week. But again, the second film was way more popular. And there's a bit of stats we can bring up around that one. But yeah, 100 Monsters, Micah.
Jasher, if you had to rate this movie out of 100.
Oh, Micah. I can do 1 to 5. You've done this. You've done this multiple times to me recently.
Yeah, I want you to give me a rating out of 100.
Out of 100? Gosh, darn it!
Be Metacritic for a second.
Okay, out of 100 monsters.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go through some final thoughts.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Out of the 100 yokai, how many are haunting you?
Okay.
Before doing your cleansing ceremony.
Out of 100.
Yeah.
All right. That story about the 2 fishermen picking up the haunted fish from the haunted lake, being told to put it back but not doing it. It was very interesting because they walk into a house and you assume it's one of their wives or a woman they know, and they're real mean to her. They're cook us up some food while we have some sake. They're just sipping. They get through a whole bottle of sake. They're yelling out for their food to be ready. And then you actually see one of their wives later on when you realize they're dead and were struck by lightning. So that woman, I'm just trying to figure out, she wasn't one of their wives. She was just a random woman.
Or she was the other one's wife?
Maybe. Interesting. It was pretty cool that she had like blood on her hands that wouldn't get off.
Yeah, it's
and
a fun
she had to
little detail.
keep scrubbing and it didn't get away. The scene at the end with all the yokai before the 100 ghosts procession out of the gate, all the yokai are haunting Tajimaya and they're jumping around this room.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of Matango so much with the slow-mo monsters, with all the like laughing, very like psychedelic and creepy almost at the end there. There was a scene where one of the humans decapitates a yokai and then their head turns into a candle. And there were some pretty cool moments like that. Just a lot of trickery, a lot of practical effects, real creative things I hadn't seen done before.
I feel like you're trying to put off rating this movie.
I just had a lot of notes, Micah, you know? Last note I had, Yokai Monsters Muppet Show.
I could get behind it.
This should have been a thing.
Who would be your Kermit? Your straight man.
The oil dude.
Yeah?
The oil
I like
giver.
that.
And the show would start, the curtain would roll, and he'd like hand out some oil towards you to kind of welcome you in.
Yeah.
Then you have...
I feel like Umbrella has got to be the Fozzie equivalent.
Yeah. Who's New Pippo? New Pippo is Miss Piggy.
Oh, I don't know. I'm seeing more of like a Snuffleupagus.
Yeah. Snuffleupagus from Sesame Street on My Muppet Show.
Hey, there's a lot of crossovers.
Yeah. I'm struggling because all the monster stuff, all the special effects in this, so ahead of its time. I'd say like so much further even to what Toho and stuff were doing at the time that this came out in 1968.
It does feel like a 70s movie more so, doesn't it?
Yeah, just super creative, super innovative. It really, really gets me excited about filmmaking and what these teams were doing practically in the time. Heaps of guys in suits, heaps of guys with wires trying to bring these unrealistic characters to life the best they could. And they really succeeded. And I love the idea of just having hundreds of random monsters in a movie like this. Just a whole lot of new effects for them to show off, new personalities, new backstories. And I just wish that they did actually give us backstories, that they did actually teach us a little bit about these monsters, because you really learn one or two and then the other ones just come at the end and you're like, who's this guy? Who's that guy? Oh. But again, I'm thinking like, would Japanese audiences have needed that, or would they have known all these yokai monsters?
Yeah, that's one of the hard things I'm thinking about. Like, there is so much to being informed about movies and like the elements that show in the movie's history.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine for some audiences, they would already feel like they're so familiar with a lot of these characters, especially since, like, I imagine this wouldn't have been the first piece of media to use yokai in its theming.
No.
So there would have been a bunch of yokai adaptations about there.
And I'm just thinking, like, if a movie came out nowadays in the Western world.
It's kind of like if we had a cryptids movie.
Yeah. And then at the very end, you see the Loch Ness Monster, but nothing's said about him. But you see him. You see Bigfoot, but nothing's said about him. All of us would be like, oh, yeah, it's the Loch Ness Monster. That's cool that they included him. Or like,
oh, Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot's there.
Hey, it's Chupacabra.
So I guess it's kind of just me realizing, I guess this movie wasn't really made for us. It was made for the kids at the time that were obsessed with yokai, with all the yokai collectibles and yokai lunch boxes and trading cards. Like, they didn't need to know these guys' stories. But yeah, I wasn't completely sold on the human drama. I would probably say I'm being haunted by like 65, 66, 67 yokai? 67 yokai.
67 you're locking
me.
it in.
Yeah, out of 100.
So you're giving this a 2 out of 3 rating.
Yes. Or a 3 out of 5?
No, that's no.
Closer
Bring
to a
it down
3.5 out of 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
No, I did enjoy it. I had a fun time. I'm looking forward to going into the next movie. It's supposed to be better, have some more yokai action, have a better story.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can safely say I'm being haunted by 57 yokai.
Whoa. So you're positive?
Yeah. I do feel a lot of the same thoughts about you. I feel like the human story is so much less engaging than the yokai elements here. And like, I really do wish that we just had so much more content of that 100 yokai ceremony. I feel like that was when the movie was at its best. Like, my favorite sequence was probably them hearing the story about the long-necked woman.
Yeah.
And just hearing that tale in its full and hearing the effects of that was so fantastic. And I really do miss them. And I really do wish the movie were, like you said, even more framed as like an anthology.
It could have been like, I don't know if you've seen the VHS series.
No, I haven't.
Popular horror anthologies that are still getting released at the moment, but like 5 or 6 up-and-coming horror filmmakers each do a short film, and it's of a different monster, and they're all connected by like an overarching narrative. Like, I think this would have worked so much better as something like that. Like, we are at the ghost story ceremony. We hear 5 different people share 5 different stories that are all really, really creepy. And then maybe they still leave.
I think you do still tie it up in some way, in some meta-narrative.
Like, they share their stories, they leave, they don't do the purification, and then maybe some of them are attacked by all the monsters that they had shared about at the end.
Yeah.
We didn't need this magistrate, merchant, samurai nonsense.
Even have them, like, I'd love it if it were more of a half-half. Like, first half of the movie, you're hearing about these guys, hearing their backstories, and then the haunting happens. But in this movie, like, it feels like the ceremony takes place over 5 minutes. And it's for such a scarce amount of time, right in the smack dab middle of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just puts me off a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get that. Let's hear what our listeners thought with our segment that we all know and love, MAILnilla. We don't call out our segment names enough. MAILnilla. Let's hear from Liam or Etnodove. Liam says, an experience like no other. The plot was a little confused at times, but the vibes and music were always on point. The effects and variety of monsters was great, and I loved how they didn't directly interfere with the physical world. Mike, you're going to need to do some conversion for me, but Liam gives us 4.15 out of 5.
Okay, hold on.
I'm keeping the real length of time you're thinking for in the final edit.
80. I legitimately don't think that there's an equivalent. Actually, let me get my calculator out.
I'm keeping this in.
If we go 5 times 20 is 100, so 4.15 times 20. 83 monsters. He's being haunted by 83 monsters.
Wow, there we go. And I agree about the music. It was so refreshing after coming off of Daimogen and all the music sounding the same. A lot of twangs.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there was a lot of like, it felt like I was in the outback of Australia.
To me, it was more so like moody, atmospheric, spooky stuff.
No, I could hear the kangaroos coming.
I didn't get Australian from Yokai Monsters.
I have a message here from Ravenous Glavenous in the Discord.
Rav.
Who says, not the most ambitious story, but a solid showcase of ambitious practical effects. I can't help but appreciate the time and effort it must have taken to create all of those yokai costumes when the majority of them barely see any screen time. It's refreshing to have a monster movie where the creatures cause harm, but through driving people to madness rather than direct physical violence. It's certainly an interesting angle and one that suits the overall tone of the movie, but it wasn't really enough for me. I'm interested in seeing where the series goes from here, but the first installment is a little forgettable for my tastes. What's the equivalent? 60 monsters out of 100.
60 monsters out of 100.
Yeah. That's easy, Jasha. Come on.
That's 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
You
got it, man.
Thanks, Rav. And then I'll just read out a bit of Connor's Letterboxd review. Go and follow Connor on Letterboxd. He does some amazing reviews over there, but there was a bit that said, loved the monsters and the atmosphere and many of the scenes, but I didn't really care for Yokai Monsters, 100 Monsters as a whole. The plot was both confusing and uninteresting at the same time, with lots of different characters all doing their own thing. Maybe I was just too tired when I watched it, but I can't lie, I got a little lost. And Connor gave it 2.5 out of 5, which is 50. Haunted by 50?
Yeah.
There we go.
Quick maths, man.
Yeah, there you go. I know my conversion. Super difficult conversion to 100 there. But yeah, thanks for watching along with us, guys. I just remembered, but we're actually not releasing an episode next week.
Yeah, we're having a break.
We're having a break. Me and Mike are going to a 24-hour mystery movie marathon. And it was going to be around our usual Podzilla recording time. And we don't have enough faith in ourselves to lucidly record an episode, watch another movie and record an episode straight after watching 24 hours of movies.
We very intentionally try and get as much sleep the day before.
Yeah.
And try not to stay up too long afterwards because we are shattered by the end of it.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we're not going to be here next week, but the week after, we're returning with Yokai Monsters Spook Warfare, which might be one of the best movie names of all time.
Yeah.
Spook Warfare? So good. The synopsis goes, the most bizarre monsters the world has ever seen. Spook Warfare tells the tale of an evil Babylonian vampire inadvertently awoken by treasure hunters and a brave samurai that teams up with the yokai to defeat the bloodthirsty demon.
Babylonian vampire. That sounds so great.
This sounds cool. Whole bunch of yokai teaming up with a samurai to bring down a kaiju-sized Babylonian vampire.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We're in for a ride.
And we might have a guest with us for this one.
Oh, we might. Oh my goodness.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, stay tuned. We might have a guest with us on the show. That's going to be very, very exciting. A guest that fits very well for the spooky season.
Maybe a returning guest?
Maybe a returning guest that this seems like one of the perfect movies to cover with him. But yeah, watch Spook Warfare. I think you can catch it on the Arrow streaming service. You can rent it on Amazon. And, you know, if you've got the Arrow Blu-ray discs, or if you haven't already, pick it up. Really good set. But that's us for this week. I'm going to go to bed counting yokai monsters in my sleep.
Yeah. Don't worry, I will perform the cleansing ritual
before
this
you leave.
podcast.
You're going to do it tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because you didn't do it last time.
No.
And
I've learned my lesson.
My week has been crazy.
I've been seeing so many Smeagol's and Golems.
And yeah, the backyard bandits around this household, the great noses, the nosy noses.
Yeah. Don't sleep with socks on. If you do, make sure they're clean.
Make sure to clean?
Make sure they're clean.
Oh.
Make sure the socks are... Make sure to spend a couple hours mopping first.
Make sure to clean before you go to bed. Those socks, if you're wearing dirty socks, clean with them on to stay alive.